So we're going to be looking at the LR women's soccer data. So for athlete 1, we will look at the effect size estimate. For the effect size, I want to focus on when the spike is in the data, when the number is above a 2 or 2.5. It tends to mean the training load is getting strenuous. So for this, I would recommend to the coach that there should be a recovery day and possibly a day off to follow so that the body can get even more recovery. For athlete 2, we are looking at the sleep duration in the SPC graph, so this graph, and the training monotony versus training strain. It shows that this athlete is getting very little sleep majority of the time, which is not good and can actually have a negative impact on the athlete's performance. I would suggest that the coach have a talk with their athlete and see if there's any outside factors or really any factors that the coach can help with that are affecting the sleep, and see what they can do to improve that so that the outcomes improve, performance improves, and everything is better overall. So for athlete 3, I didn't talk about the strain. I don't think, did I? Yeah, so now I'm going to talk about the strain. So it shows that towards the end, the strain and the monotony increases a pretty big amount, as you can see here, for weeks 6 through 9. And then also there's also this increase right here from 9 through 11. It's not as big, but I want to mainly focus right here since that's the biggest amount. It really passed the training threshold, which means that the athlete was training really hard during those periods of time. And so I would tell the coach that if not given proper rest for the body, that can be bad. So I would tell them that the athlete needs a longer rest period and to go a little lighter on the training load as well. Now to athlete 3. So for athlete 3, we will look at the effect size, in which a few times it spiked above the threshold, which is 2. But in this case, I would tell the coach to implement more rest periods to get that back down to a 2, if not slightly lower, because if not, it can lead to an increase in fatigue in the athlete. For athlete 4, looking at monotony and strain again, I want to focus on the big spike right here for weeks 6 through 9. But also, again, there's this not tiny, but there's a smaller spike. But my main focus is right here because it's a really big spike. But with this spike, I would suggest to the coach that they go easy the following weeks, or maybe even alternate, like easy workout, hard training load, so we can balance out a little bit more. But I would also suggest 2 days off within that time period so that the risk of injury decreases and the body can recover properly from working that hard. So for athlete 5, For athlete 5, this is not the right. For athlete 5, it seems that the average sleep and training load are on days where they're training harder. The athlete gets lack of sleep. So I will tell the coach to talk to the athlete and also consider making the load lighter so that the athlete can get more sleep and work harder in a more beneficial way. For athlete 6, we're looking at the correlation between the effect size and then the sprint count. And the SPC of average soreness, you can see that although it's not often when the athlete sprints, a lot of the amount of soreness increases, but at the same time, you have to keep delayed muscle soreness in mind. So I would talk to the coach and suggest that they keep that in mind when training. But I would also implement sprints and incorporate rest days accordingly. So if you're going to have a day where you do a lot of sprints, I would recommend a recovery or rest day following. So for athlete 7, we have the focus on anatomy and strain again. So as you can see, there's a spike again, weeks 6 through 9. So that is more towards like not the middle of the season, but not the end of the season, in which I understand it may be really big competition during that time, but I would suggest dialing down on training load a bit to prevent injury towards the end of the season, because that way, when it comes down to the big tournaments and when competition gets crucial, the outcomes are better and the chance of athletes being fatigued or risk of injury is decreased. So for athlete 8, we're looking at the SPC for fatigue, in which it shows that the athlete is more fatigued than normal, more so at the beginning of the season, but kind of in a way the same throughout. Like you see there's kind of a spike here a little bit, but then it starts to dial down. But with that being said, I would suggest that it could be possible going into the season the athlete wasn't as prepared for the strenuous work that they were going to be put through in the training load. But I would also recommend that the coach push that athlete at a consistent level instead of it being like they're being pushed here, but then it's like they dial down a little bit. They dial down a bit. So I'll be more consistent in how the athlete is being pushed. That way, that the fatigue isn't high in one part and then low in another part. That the athlete is staying consistent with their body and how their body reacts to the workout all throughout. So athlete 9, we're looking at AC ratio, effect size. AC ratio and effect size. So they're both going above and below the control limits. So I would advise that the coach keep them between the control limits, to help the athlete adapt and recover. For the effect size, we see it is above a 2 at times, so I would suggest not to have hard training back to back. So athlete 10, we're looking at the monotony and strain increasing. I would suggest that the coach have more fluctuation in training volume to help the athletes adapt to the training load, because as you can see, there's a spike. This one got messed up somehow. I'll have to come. I may have to submit another thing because my graphs are messing up. So I will come back to those ones. I will probably have to make another link or presentation for that one. But for athlete 19, we're looking at the SPC of sleep duration. The athlete isn't getting as much sleep, especially during certain weeks. You can see that it's a higher spike, like for example, here, here, and here. But especially when it gets above the upper limit. We know that sleep is important in performance and recovery, so I would suggest that the coach talk to this player and see what is going on and how they can help, whether it's school or personal life or something that's going on that the coach can control. And I'll have to redo this one too because it messed up. I'm not sure how or why, but in the second video link I submit, I will finish with that.